Welcome back to another episode of Weathering the Autism Storm. I'm JP, your host. If you're new, then welcome. In last week's episode, I started to cover interview questions, and so today I am going to continue by talking about a few more of the personality interview questions as well as the conflict questions. Just as a reminder, you should be honest in answering your questions, as many of those who do the interviewing can tell if you are making something up based on their experience in doing interviews. The first question to talk about this week is what motivates you. What employees are wanting to know is what motivated you, but also how it connects to the company. Also, employers are hoping you to answer based on the areas such as meeting deadlines, mentoring others, overcoming obstacles, and analyzing complex data to find patterns, for example. If I were to be interviewed about motivation for a weather company that does outreach and I read what they are looking for, such as creativity, overcoming difficulties, and mentoring, I would say what motivates me is the ability to overcome obstacles that I have had in the past due to my autism, and how I could use my experience to mentor others who might be in a similar position to help them through creative means. The second question is talking about your strengths and weaknesses. This is a difficult one. One of the things you should do is look at the job description and think about what your strengths are related to the description, and then talk about it. For example, if the National Weather Service asks me what one of my strengths is, and I'll answer thinking on my feet because of how it fits into the description, and then talk about some examples of thinking on my feet at my current job. And for the weaknesses, you should put it in a positive focus, but should not conflict with a job description. Like if writing is my weakness, I should not talk about it for a position as a newspaper writer, for example. However, you should mention how you're overcoming the weakness, such as practicing public speaking by being involved with Toastmasters, for example. If you are applying for a position which might not require as much public speaking. Another common question I gotten previously is to describe leadership. Leadership is a quality that is hard to define. However, most interviewers are hoping to see is for unique answers, like focus on the different aspects to see if you are a fit in the organization and support the function. As a way to answer it, you should look up leaders both great and bad in order to find which traits they had that made them good leaders and bad leaders, and focus on the good and the opposite of the bad traits. Also, you should focus on the situation and what reaction and action is proper for the situation. A common question that I have not been asked is what your preferred work environment is. What employers are trying to do in this question is to see if you fit in how the company operates and the pace, as well as which environment suits you. For example, if the job talks about a fast-paced team environment, you would want to talk about how you would relate to it. Like, be willing to work in a team environment if you mainly did individual work, or if you want to develop to become better in a fast-paced environment, or if you had experiences in different environments that you want to grow in. And that wraps up most of the more common personality questions that are asked. However, it gets more difficult with the situational personality questions. One of the situations that they might ask is what you would do if you had a rotating shift in an office and a colleague comes in and is either drunk, high, or smells very badly like they haven't showered in days and your boss is not in there, what would you do? The first thing is to call a taxi or an Uber or a rideshare to pick up the person and send them home. Then you should try to call your boss to notify him about the situation. After calling your boss, call in another available coworker to come in to fill for the coworker for the shift. Another situation that can be asked is what you would do if you feel like someone is really bothering you or harassing you. This question has become more common over the past few years. What they want to know is how you react if it does happen, as well as the method which is best to report it to your boss. A third question they might ask is how you would handle a disagreement with a coworker. For example, if the interviewer asked me if I was asked about one of my observations by my colleague that I did something wrong, what would I do? I would first explain to him my side of the story, including why I did it, and then ask the person why they think it is wrong, and if they have some reference, I would then go back and look it up and see if it lines up with either side. If it was something else, like a colleague disagreeing about a schedule proposal with me, I would try to find a common ground to satisfy us both. And those are some of the situational questions you might encounter in an interview. If you know of more questions to talk about or find these to be helpful, please leave them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and if you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and help share my channel, as I am hoping to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. Also, check out previous episodes of my vlog, including how to budget, meal plan, and other daily hacks. I hope you can catch next week's episode. Until then, I will see you next time on Weathering the Autism Storm.